All right, let's try it now. Can you guys hear me now? All right, let's try it now. Maybe that's a good sign. I could hear myself. Christ on a cracker. Can you guys hear me now? Everything's all messed up now. Nope, let me turn that down. Yo, and the brightness. Good lord, y'all would think this is the first freaking stream I've ever done in my life. Oh, all right. Let's fucking get started. God damn. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Sai. Jesus Lord. I have no idea what happened, but good morning, guys. I excuse me, have no idea what happened with the audio. So around fucking 14 minutes we'll get started here. Need to remember that for a timestamp. No idea what happened. Obviously everything was good to go. Tried to start the stream and no audio was coming through. The little green dots at the bottom wouldn't even come through, like the mic wasn't picking up at all. I removed myself, then I had to leave the entire studio. I was concerned at first because I was like, I don't want to leave the studio and like the live feed stop, but I was like, well, fuck it. At this point, can't hear or see anyway, so whatever. But here we are. So, y'all, we have so much shit to talk about, and I am so happy to be here with you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for the delay in these streams. My little baby Frida, she has to have surgery next week. Well, not next week, but we have to go get her consultation done next Thursday at 4 p.m. Her vet said that, they were like feeling around. She was like, oh yeah, she tore her CCL. But yeah, so we'll be doing that next week. I don't know what my schedules are gonna look like because part of me is like, oh, it could be even crazier, but then part of me is like, I'll maybe home even more because the recovery and PT, like physical therapy, she's gonna need afterwards. So we'll see. But I'm just happy to be here with you guys because the more and more things are happening, it was like almost like FOMO. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, bro, like I just want to sit down and just fucking word vomit and just get it all out. So here we are. I sadly do have a like virtual appointment I have to do at 12 my time, noon, so in like an hour and what is that, 18 minutes or so. So I'm going to be brief, but well, yeah, y'all know me with brief, but I am not going to waste too much more time and we'll get into it, but I'm going to try to not have too many side routes and tangents and all that shit. So thank you, Sai. I appreciate you, my friend. And shout out to you, Sai. Are you doing okay, my friend? I'm happy to see you in the chat though, but be careful because I myself have had 5 concussions in the past, and well, I mean, it's changed since back in my day when I had my concussions. It was during the time when you couldn't go to sleep and like zero, like don't go to sleep or you'll die type shit, but like no screens and stuff like that. So be careful, my friend. But I'm happy to see you in the chat. I appreciate you. And sorry if y'all hear the ice. I had to go get coffee with Frida. She deserved a puck cup, so we went to get coffee, which is another reason why I was a little bit late, but I needed it, guys. Forgive me. All right. Shit. So originally, I was going to just talk about WrestleMania because obviously that was the big thing going on. But now we've had fucking cuts. We've had security issues, we'll call it, with the whole CM Punk, Bailey fan situation. So Maria, shout out to you. I'm pretty certain it was you, girl, who had mentioned it. Yeah, thank you for bringing it up because I almost forgot. But so shout out to you and Fernando. You guys were the first ones in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Maria, you had said, actually, we need to have a discussion about how the WWE needs to beef up security for the wrestlers and the fans are out of control. So we will probably start around that area. I'm going to start that to get back to it. We'll probably start with WrestleMania. Obviously, I'm not going to go through match by match. I'm just going to get like the highs and the lows out of the way. Because at this point, it's crazy, but like, at this point, it's almost like water under the bridge. Excuse me. But shout out to, you guys in the chat, Fernando, Maria. I did want to mention to you guys because I thought about it earlier when I was going to get said coffee. Um, Stephanie Chase, because that's where I first saw you guys, Fernando and Maria. You guys are loyal, so shout out to all you guys who go from stream to stream and support all the various streams, even if it's the same topic. You go through and listen to the same topic like 4 or 5 different times. So I appreciate that, and you guys are here, so included in that little bunch. So I truly appreciate that, because I mean, I'd still probably be here, but I would just be talking to myself, and that kind of looks awkward after a while. You know what I mean? But I did want to say, I bring that up because Stephanie Chase, you guys had not heard where she's been lately, and I don't know if Fernando and Maria, you guys listen to PW Torch, but she is doing a show with, I think the dude's name is Joshua White. But I think it's just on the VIP side. I'm not 100% certain. I do know they're doing a show though, but I don't know if it's on their like free stream, like on the so if like you have Apple Audio or whatever, you can just search probably like PW Torch or whatever, either PW Torch or Wave Color, and you can probably find it that way. But it may just be on the VIP side. But yeah, so I know you guys had mentioned, or we have chatted about it before, because I dig Stephanie too. I'm a really big fan of hers. I did that show with her that one time. That was fucking dope. But I hadn't seen or heard, where she gone. So when she popped up, I was like, oh, that's dope. And I was excited to hear back, but I was excited to hear from her. So I wanted to pass that along. So I know. If that ice shaking gets to be too much, let me know. There's like this thing. I don't know the name. I forget the name of it. But Melanie Little, shout out to Melanie Little, attorney Melanie Little. People who listen to streams and like audio, especially with their earbuds in, little things like swallowing, like gulping, ice, and things like that, like fuck with people. It's like a sensory thing or some shit. So if it gets to be too much, let me know, and I will try to mute myself each time. But yeah. But yeah, guys, like I said, I will be getting right into it. I just wanted to get all that kind of out of the way. What up, Muhammad? Of course, I appreciate you, my friend. And Alice here. What up? What up? Oh, sick. Hell yeah. Joshua in the chat. Hell yeah. On Daily Cast free. Well, what are the odds of that? So there you go. Shout out to Joshua, and check it out. It's on the Daily Cast. So hell yeah. I say that because I'm a VIP member, not to, to my own horn, but with the VIP side, you get all that shit just automatically down. Oh, shout out to Frida. Automatically, you guys see her? Automatically download it in your. That's so funny. She's ruining the plug. But you get all that shit automatically downloaded into your feed, so it's just automatically there for me, and it's commercial free, which I'm becoming more and more of a snob as I get older. So yeah, but all that out of the way, it's fucking cracking me up. See if I can. I don't want to mess it too much, but she deserves to be on the stream. Hey, Frida. I'm gonna try not to talk to her too much because then she'll get up. But that's my baby, y'all. That is a big human dog bed. We got it because I obviously love to live with my dogs, and Amazon is great for bullshit like that. So I lay with them now. We all share a bed. Ooh, little piece of fuzz. But yeah. Now did I just fuck up the camera? So yeah, so we're gonna get into it. We'll start with WrestleMania, get that shit out of the way. Obviously, it's kind of crazy, but the pro and the con for me are both main events. WrestleMania Night 1, Cody and Randy Orton. I don't know what the fuck all that was. I don't know what we sat through. Weeks in the build. Well, to be fair, it was like what, a couple weeks, like 2 weeks, 3-ish, maybe max, of the whole Pat McAfee bullshit. But weeks in the matter of hope for once we knew it was going to be Randy and Cody, right? it was the almost like a dream match, right? Depending on, I mean, I know if you're not a big Randy Orton fan, you're kind of like whatever. But in regards to long term stories that WWE can tell and feuds that actually have a real, I won't say real life, but I mean, yeah, in a way, real life, but like a real life and real life character version of a story that we have been invested in and we can follow. Whether you're a new fan or you've been around since the beginning, it's one of those where you can kind of dive into, right? It's something easy you can pick up on, right? Like 20 plus year history, mentor, mentee, go from there. We did not get that, obviously. I'm not going to beat a dead horse because we don't have time and I would be here forever because you guys know me. But that was one of the things we were all looking forward to the most, right? So we're already irritated we didn't get that. But the whole speculation with, oh, Randy's on the phone, more than one royal family, all that good stuff, right? That hooked me. I'm like, okay, they're maybe gonna tie it in. There's got to be something that they're gonna tie into, right? The whole royal family part in particular ended up being a bust, obviously, right? I'm not gonna try not to go back into that too much, but the Pat McAfee of it was just bullshit, right? And they clearly recognize that. Whether, I guess, reports are coming out that McAfee himself realized it was just becoming more and more of a bust, or a combination of the two. I don't know if we should be giving them credit for recognizing, because they already ruined it, right? You can't, when they say you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube type shit, what's done is done. Yeah, you can go back to a rematch with Cody and Randy, but it's just not the same, dude. Especially there's, what do you say? It's like that first time impression, right? Like that first, I mean, it's not their first one-on-one matchup, but that first big matchup in the sense that this is not necessarily the culmination, because in a sense it's the first chapter of the actual feud that should have been building off of their history and their story. But it would have been, which should have been the beginning from what I thought was going to lead into potentially SummerSlam, right? And did not happen. Now, of course, Randy is not on TV right now, so he could be taking some time off, or maybe just a couple weeks, whatever it's going to be, come back, and then they just go right back to it. And that could be buying time for Cody, because Jesus, the fucking Steiner that dude has, like, between him and Liv Morgan, bro, like, I mean, not that I wish for anyone to get hurt, but I kind of wish that they were gonna do their what is it, the What Do You Want to Talk About podcast after Cody got the Shiner, because you just the visual, right? Like, of Cody sitting there with the Shiner. Well, I guess it would have, I don't know, the camera angle, but you still would have seen it, right? The Shiner on Cody, and then the fucking just mountain on Liv's forehead. Just the visual alone, man, obnoxious. Um, but yeah, so it's probably, win-win. Randy's off TV, try to, out of sight, out of mind with the bullshit with Pat, give time for Cody to heal. And also, apparently, the story has changed, right? And the plans have changed going into Backlash, now coming off of the catastrophe that was the Cody and Randy. And God, it's so sad. And to be fair, because, when you call one side out, you got to do it to the other. Oh, let's dot on my screen. I was like, what the fuck's on my neck? I felt like it was a fucking AEW thing, dude. And if anyone is new here, like, I love AEW, right? It's not a diss, but if you're not new here, I want to be fair, right? So it was one of those things where it's like with AEW, dude, like, you have a dream match or a match that you've been looking forward to for months, years, whatever it may be, right? Because dream match can kind of be subjective. But you finally get the inclination that, okay, this is where we're going, this is where we're leading to, and then bam, we just get it. Like, no real build, no nothing. It's just, okay, it's announced maybe a week or two prior, you maybe get a contract signing, if that, and then you go right into it. And then it's like, damn, dude, like, we went from chapter 1 to chapter 6, you know what I mean? And yeah, the match is going to be great, or you hope, but it's like, dude, like, the whole point of watching wrestling for me now, again, especially, like the diehard AEW fans and like more New Japan fans, like a lot of people just love wrestling. They're good with match, match, match. They don't really need a story. That's cool, man. But for me, I am a story person. I have very bad ADHD, as you guys know, um, or assumed at this point. I need something to hook me in because I hate being on my phone as it is, right? But if something has hooked me in, dude, especially if I'm watching it for the first time, I will be zoned in because I need to focus. I need to be fully dedicated to whatever I'm watching, listening to, whatever, so I can comprehend it, right? That's just how my brain works, whatever. Um, so for me, that's an indicator if I'm like on my phone. Obviously, everyone's on their phone nowadays, but for me personally, like if I'm on my phone or if I'm thinking about oh, I should go put like a load of laundry in really quick, or like thinking about like stuff that I need to do, you don't have me hooked, man. Yes, the match is gonna be good, but that story, dude, like I love me a thread, especially throughout like back in the day, dude, not to be that person, but for me, when people say like, "Oh, miss the Attitude Era," one of the because I'm not one of those people. There's certain aspects, right? But one of the aspects that I do miss, that I think is kind of not really, I guess, maybe appreciated enough or like talked about enough, is the thread. That's what I really enjoyed, was the thread throughout the show. And of course, it was mainly for the bigger stars, right? But that's what hooked me, man. Like that's why I had to be there at either 8 or 9, depending on what part of the era it was. You just had to be there because, especially, you didn't have like, you could record it on VHS, but you couldn't rewind, like you couldn't do that shit. So you had to be there because if you missed shit, like you would have to wait to either hear about it from your friends the next day or like read about it in the magazine or some shit. And like for me, like I didn't have like I had dial up internet until I was fucking like 18, 19, until I moved. So yeah. So that's what I miss the most. So that's what gets me hooked. And sorry for that long-winded roundabout. As I said, I wasn't gonna go off on side tangents, but that's what really hurt me, man, about the Randy and Cody lack of story, because it's the what we could have had. And like I said, yeah, we can get back to it leading into SummerSlam or whatever they're gonna do. And it could be, look, it could be they could right their wrong. It could be something that once they realized the McAfee thing was just fucking tanking, that they're like, all right, we still have SummerSlam. It's number 2 show of the year. It's probably going to be a big deal this year, especially if depending on what happens with Brock, which we'll need to touch on here too. Just remember that. So I do kind of have like a slimmer of hope that maybe they'll try to right the wrong there. But still, dude, it's like, again, like, I don't know. And I know I said this on here. I'm hoping I did. It wasn't to just like a friend of mine, but another thing that I knew I was gonna be frustrated on, don't fucking hit me with a bomb ass video package of the Randy and Cody story on the pre-show and the build up going into the WrestleMania match, right? And I mean, shit, there wasn't to be worried about on the WrestleMania stream because we got ads, no packages. But on the marathon pre-shows, don't give me no amazing like A++ video package of their story and the history, because no, you should have told me that, man. No, your production team shouldn't be saving your ass. So I purposely didn't watch it. I remember seeing something that popped up on my Twitter because, like I said before, which is why I'm slowly doing all this recap now. I was traveling last weekend right before all this shit happened with Frida. So I had to watch Mania on a delay. So thankfully I got to skip some of the ads, but I did watch a little bit of night 1 live at some point. But yeah, like just fucking ridiculous, dude. And that's why when I saw the video package pop up on my Twitter feed, when I did log on later, I was like, nah, nope, I'm not even gonna watch it. Not even gonna watch it. Not gonna dignify you with my view. It's just because it's just frustrating. Not that it means shit, but you gotta stick it to the man however you can, But yeah, so that was the negative for me. People were talking about like the match links as well compared to like the ads and shit like that. I think it was Wade who had made a point. I think it was Wade, like in comparison to like WrestleMania 3 or something, like it was pretty comparable to those match times. However, it wasn't, it was like more boom, boom, boom. It wasn't like big gaps of time in between. Again, like I said, I watched it on delay, so I had the luxury of skipping through. And thankfully, you know, when I did need to watch WrestleMania, I took a trip to the UK. And with the UK, watching it over there, you know, it's fantastic. You know, you don't have that many. It just kind of just ran right through almost. So shout out to your people, Sai. Y'all do great things over there. But you know, had to fly back really quick to do the stream this morning. You know, priorities. So yeah, so I can't really. I'm not going to complain too much on that because it didn't really irk me. But if I did, you know, I would. But yeah, so I feel for you guys, but that is one of the pros for watching it on delay. Again, well, not again, but back to the positive. And honestly, like it's kind of 1A and 1B for me, man, which is wild. And I think a real testament. And that is, of course, if you guys know me right, Punk and Roman. I mean, to be fair, I was going into it, y'all, just fucking worried that it was just gonna drag. Because we know the type of matches Roman has. They're very drawn out. They're very not cinematic. They're very just not even story based. What's the right phrase? But there's a lot of shit that goes into it, you know, for lack of better words. But this year we didn't have too much of the bloodline inclusion, right? Like we did have obviously like the Usos, you know, getting yippy with Punk when Punk wanted to bury Roman next to his dead father. So there was that. But other than that, there was you know, there was I think the beat up right after that, but there wasn't too much after that portion. Like especially in the immediate 2-3 weeks right before Mania, it was mainly just Punk and Roman. So I didn't really think the bloodline was gonna get involved, but so then I was like, so what is this match gonna look like? Kind of concerned it was gonna be like you know, like a Randy Orton style, like headlock type shit. But I was like, man, like that's excuse me, that's not Punk style. That's not even necessarily Roman style. But again, the Roman that we've seen the past 5 years now, he's always been very like side character heavy, right? If that makes sense. Like the side his side pieces are always involved. So I was like, what is this gonna look like? So hold on. I was like, all right. But then yeah, the Punk side of it. Punk, this is it for him. This is what he's been longing for. This was the shit that he was bitching about over 10 years ago now. This is what he had been wanting. Yes, he got the main event last year, but it was different. It was night one, it was a triple threat. This year, dude, he was going into the main event as the champion Sunday, night 2, against pretty much the face of the company, being Roman. Say what you want about the build. I'm not going to get into that again, right? But, well, the only thing I will mention is it was very odd, like the Monday going into Mania, the go home show, with Punk just kind of like the week prior, he was just so pissed, right? He was just so like, Arr. And then the week before the go home show, he was like apologizing. So to me, I'm like, what are we doing here? And I know it was different, right? He was mad at McAfee. So that it's sad to say, but that's the Punk that we love, right? And that's the Punk that we need. The pissed off Punk that he really has like a gripe. And that McAfee portion was just really like irking him and getting that waking up that version of Punk, right? That buried in like whatever part of him that just needs to escape, and you know it's there. He's just waiting for something to just really just tap his ass, as they say, right? So he was all of a sudden apologizing to Roman, but it was just in the sense of a respect factor. So at first I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But once I thought about it later, like I think it was the next day, I was like, it does make sense because even though Punk is a piece of shit, like the edgy good guy version of Punk, like he still is about respect and about history, right? I.e., coming out at Mania with the zip up jacket on the back with the big crown, right, for Harley Race. So, and then of course he paid like homage to other people, but I mean the crown was very visible, right? So he is someone who is very big into respect and honoring history. And whether you dig Roman, The Rock, or how heavy-handed the Samoan side of like WWE and like how like it's been focused on like the Samoan family the past however many years has been, you can't deny and you can't not respect the lineage, right? So that is when I thought about it, I was like, all right, that kind of makes more sense. And that aligns with the Punk character, the good guy, right? Like if this was like straight edge Punk, like straight edge society Punk, like that version or whatever, like bad guy Punk, like yeah, I wouldn't expect to see him come out and apologize, or it would be like, I'm sorry, like your dad was a piece of shit or some shit, like whatever, on like a backhanded thing. So kind of made sense, or maybe I was just trying to justify it. So fast forwarding back to the match, I would be remiss if I left out. I loved the intro for him. I loved that they tied in the AFI intro. They tied it in the beautiful video package with his hit. Man, I wish they had access to the Ring of Honor footage, dude. Like they had a couple pictures, right? Man, that would have just been so dope. But yeah, it's no big deal, but it just would have been that much cooler. But again, shout out to WWE's production team because they are just brilliant at what they do. I actually probably want to go back and watch it later on, or after this again, but it was just so dope, right? That's the word of the day. But I loved how they ended it, or right towards the end, it was a shot of him sitting on top of Allegiant Stadium, cross-legged, and that led into him being backstage and walking through the little tunnel area and led into his obvious, or not as obvious, but his normal intro. And I just thought it was great. There was some rumors that he was like, they were going to try to get, a live performance. And I was just like, my opinion, live performances are just overhyped. It's just, for whatever, at least at wrestling shows, like it just 9 times out of 10 does not come through well. Fucking dude, oh my god, I know y'all saw this shit. I don't know the band's name. The fucking singer for Becky Lynch's intro, dude. I was like, yo, this is why I'm not a performer, because I totally would have done some shit like that. He's fucking like looking to the side, like messing with his earpiece, and all of a sudden his song starts, like the lyrics start singing, and he's like, oh shit, and like, ah, ah, ah. And like it's just not good, and I'm just like awkward, and you can see the guitar player just like laugh, but like I feel like he was laughing at him or smirking at him, maybe not, but it's whatever. I think he was. I'm gonna say he was. Just fucking terrible. Just like not a good look. But I mean, obviously he didn't do that shit on purpose. But like, come on, dude. Like one job, literally. And like that's when the camera's literally on you, bro. Like, just terrible. Like I feel for him. Because again, I'm not gonna sit here on a high horse because I would have done the same shit or probably something worse or tripped or whatever. But yeah, so the match itself, I feel like I keep going back to everything but the match, but you gotta acknowledge what you need to acknowledge, right? I think whoever laid out the match, and I'm sure it's been released at this point, like the agent or the producer, whatever. Shout out to them. They did a fantastic job. I loved the little intricacies that we saw. I loved how, I love how mouthy Roman is. And I don't know, like, it's like the little things. I'm like, dude, like, why is this so, like, oh my God, like, he's like he just invented, like, bread or some shit. It's like, why is it so mind blowing? Like, why don't more wrestlers do shit like that? Like, talk shit in the ring, like, and make it noticeable. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just kind of always been odd to me, like little things like that, and just like little things to just like annoy them. I don't know. Like, if you're a bad guy, of course. But yeah, unless if I was like, I'd be the most annoying fucking person, the most annoying opponent. But and then what Punk would like the little things Punk did, he would when you had Roman on the table and he put his knee on him and just flexed and just shit like that, just being cocky as a bitch. You know what I mean? Barrett even said arrogance is one of the traits that makes Punk who he is. And if that ain't the fucking truth, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I love him, because love him or hate him, Punk is that guy. And, you know, like, I think, I don't know who said it, but he's that guy where he can be right about something and you just get annoyed because he's so right. You know, it's like, fuck, dude, I get it. We hear you. But when he, towards the end, when he took the, what do you call it? The chili peppers, the chili pepper necklace, but he took the Ulafala thing that, I think it was a replica one of the fans had. Just little things like that. But of course, fast forwarding to the end, I was kind of bummed. Obviously, you know, Punk's my guy, but just kind of bummed that Roman won. Apparently, he will be around though. We'll see what that ends up looking like. But I was like, man, like all the shit Roman's, because it's one of those things where they say, like, you know, if you downgrade your opponent and just beat him down, like, who did you really beat? And yes, Roman did show little signs of respect to him and certain statements, but even like Roman released like a little video on his Twitter account. I think when they were when he was driving to the stadium, like it's pretty vulgar. Like he said a couple like F words and shit, and just pretty much just like trashing Punk. And I'm like, okay, so like I was even more confident that Punk was gonna win. So it was killing me not, man, like Sunday, Monday, I was like, it was killing me not being able to find out. So when I finally watched the match and we got to the ending, I was like, damn. And because they got me. So like right at the end, when Punk hit the GTS, Roman went against the ropes and then fell right across Punk's back. Beautifully done. I was like, oh man, here we go. And that wasn't it. And I was like, okay, okay. But then they went back to it, and I don't know. Like, I'm gonna wait and see how it plays out because Roman said he's gonna be around for a while, right? And I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Like, why would you say certain things and then really beat him, like beat Punk, man? And then like what do you do with him going forward? Yes, on Raw, Punk and Cody interacted, right? Or was it Raw? Yeah. And I think it was Punk, right? Punk was like, you know, you never know when a title shot will appear out of nowhere, or you know, some shit like that. I forget the exact verbiage, which is kind of weird too. Like you're supposed to earn it, but whatever. And so of course that's something that they'll probably have in their back pocket, whether that's going to be SummerSlam, if Cody is going to be free. I just feel like SummerSlam is going to be a rematch with Orton. At that point, I think it's probably a blessing in disguise that Cody got hurt. The fucking eyebrow. And the whole catastrophe that was McAfee. Ironically, you know that what just a great play on words there. Very suiting. But because we are supposed to get the tag match at Backlash, right? Which was another reason why I didn't jump on tickets for Backlash yet. Because if that was going to be the main event that we were getting, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to drive out there just to see that shit. I don't want to see McAfee teaming up with Randy Orton facing off against oh my gosh, Cody and Jelly Roll. Like, what the fuck? No. So I don't. I guess that's, you know, obviously off the table now. Cody's not wrestling. We're gonna get Roman and Fatu, which is gonna be just one of those matches where I want to say fantastic, right? But I'm almost hesitant because it, like, I feel like it's gonna be one of those matches, but then we get like a shit finish, because it's weird to me that we're going to that so soon. You know, like, especially Roman's first opponent. You go in immediately to someone in the family. obviously Jacob does his own thing, but it's just kind of like odd. Like out of all the people, like you go to Jacob. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. What up, Pirates Wrestling? What up? What up? I'll get back to you, man. I am. Hey, Alistair, thank you, man, for that super chat. I appreciate that. You said bonus for dog. I appreciate that, my friend. She appreciates that as well. She's resting, thankfully. Try not to speak on her too much because when she gets attention, it's all about her, and she'll be trying to jump in the chair. But yeah, so I'm trying to think if there are any more comments that I wanted to say about that main event, the Roman and Punk version. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna see because Roman did say he's gonna be around for a while, right? So we'll see what that ends up being, what that ends up looking like being at least, because a while could be or full time could be for 3 months, 6 months, or for a month straight, and then see you at Money in the Bank. But well, no, because that's in September now. They just keep moving the shit. But yeah, so we'll see. The other match though, Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, dude. You want to talk about something that was just damn near perfect? And again, like I was saying earlier, some like well, especially night one, some of the shits just did not hit, and it's not the fault of the talent. They just didn't have time, right? And it's just crazy to think that you have a 3+ hour show and there's just not enough time for 6, 7 matches. Like, what are you doing? But whatever. Femi and Lesnar, though, they were one of those matches that you needed to have not a limited amount of time, but just the right amount of time. And I think it ended up being what 5, 6 matches or something, or 6 matches, 5 or 6 minutes. That's all you needed, especially with them opening the show. You didn't need to belabor the point. And then especially what we ended up getting afterwards, which I'll talk on here in a second. But Femi, dude, like if you saw, like I'm sure you did, but like just, and I hate the fan cuts. Like I despise when you are getting an entrance, especially, and all of a sudden it's cut to someone in the fans reacting. Like I don't give a shit. Like I really don't care that someone is smiling or laughing or clapping. Like I want to watch them make their entrance. Like for me, like I love entrances. Like that's what part of the show. You know what I mean? So like when you cut, I don't care what I don't know these people. You know what I mean? I want to watch Oba come out. They did that too with Paige. Happy she's back. That's what a wild world, right? But I just couldn't believe it. Paige makes her return, and then within like a second and a half of her walking out, they cut. And I'm just like, why? Like, why would you cut away at that moment? It just didn't make sense. But in this situation, it made sense. And it really added to the presentation of it, man. Because, like, you got people, what was it? It was like a football. Oh, I saw it somewhere. It was it football? I forget. But it was like on of course Twitter or some shit. But someone like some sports team was like doing Femi's walk already. It was just like excuse me, his celebration. So it's catching fire. And you see it in the fans with like just random like chicks out there doing it too, which that's how you know you got something special there, right? The presentation and the layout of the match was just so well done. Like Brock didn't oversell, but there was this one moment where I forget exactly what Femi did, but Brock went out to the ringside and he was walking near Heyman. I think they made, like, him and Heyman like looked at each other, and it wasn't the like over dramatic like oh my god like type of reaction from Brock, but it was just like a oh shit and like frustrated and like just kind of like what the fuck is happening, like what did I get myself into kind of reaction that we don't see from him. And I was like, yeah, like, and his face was already red within like a couple minutes. It's like, all right, like this like this is it. It wasn't a squash though either. Like, man, I'm sure you did, but if you haven't, you just need to dedicate like 10 minutes, probably full for like the entrance as well. But man, go back and watch that, because between the entrance and the way that Lesnar reacted to him and put him over, and it didn't take like a million finishes either. It didn't take like 5, 10 fall from graces or anything like that. It was just one and done. And that's all it, and that's what's so frustrating, dude, because that's all it takes, man. And I loved too after the match ended and Femi, like right after the three, he didn't like oversell his surprise either. It was like, oh shit, like I won, but it was like, yeah, like I it's like you're just like surprised that you won, but you're not like in shock, if that makes sense. You're just more of like, oh man, it's finally happened. Like we're finally here. You know what I mean? And when he was walking up the ramp, there was this one shot where he was doing like, his little stance or whatever, but he did the little hat tip, the little cowboy hat tip to Lesnar, which is very fitting, right? With Cowboy Brock that we've had for years now. But of course, I don't say the main story, but the other story coming out of it is Lesnar. I don't think he's retiring. I'm not going to call it retiring, but Lesnar hanging up the boots, almost literally, right? He took them off. Someone had posted a picture. They were like, what is Randy gonna leave in the ring when he retires? Because all he wears is his trunks, right? I was just like, yo, it was just like a picture of his trunks in the ring. It's just well done. But Lesnar took off his boots, his gloves, and put him in the ring, in the center of the ring. And he was almost like a laugh and cry type of reaction, which to me, and the speculation was, oh, was it planned? Did he like, was it just like a real thing, whatever? I kind of think it is, and I kind of don't want to know otherwise at this point, because I'm good with thinking that it was real. It's almost like when you're, that reaction, like when you're just so mad, like how some people get like so mad that they end up laughing, or like either laughing or crying, it was kind of like that with him, but he was so just probably in shock, just like, man, like what the fuck did I just go through? Like, holy shit, like this dude just beat my ass. Like, this is it. Like my, like I finally found my match, I finally found someone who, I don't want to say outpower him, but like, can stand up, you know what I mean? And to me, it was just like the realization of like, okay, like if this isn't completely it, like this is damn near it. So I think that was probably all the emotion that hit him. And then obviously like Heyman was a mess when he got in the ring. The whole X sign and everything that he threw up. I I think Brock is smart. Obviously he is, right? I think it was a real moment, but I think he also knows. I don't think that it was the finale, right? I think that it was it in the sense that that's probably the last, the second to last is what I'll say. Like it's probably the last like big build type of match, but he'll probably have one more, and that's going to be the favor for Heyman, right? The favor that Heyman owes to Gunther, the favor that Heyman needs taken care of, and Brock's his best friend, dude. Like that's it solves and answers Gunther's problem, Heyman's problem. Brock will get his farewell match. Not that the character Brock needs it, right, or gives a shit, but I feel like the real life version would, and does, because you can see when he was going back up the ring or back up to the ramp into the stage, like he was, like acknowledging the fans and shit like that. So the character of Brock doesn't do that. So you that was another way you can tell, like, it really meant something to him, and it really is one step closer to the end. So I do think we're going to get the farewell match in SummerSlam in Minneapolis, which is even more tempting. I might look it up and see how much. But I mean, shit, I'm not planning anything right now, but just kind of curious how much tickets are, flights at least. But I just, because it does, like Brock. That's what I'm saying. Brock is a good businessman, right? So he's not going to. I think like I was saying, that was a real moment, but I think too, he's going to use that to his advantage, and he's going, because he's can go to the back and be like, yeah, this is, like, I'm done, like, he beat my ass, and, he's the real deal type shit or whatever. And you're gonna have your Triple H's, your Nick Khans, whoever, just throwing money at him, throwing bags and bags, and bringing Brinks trucks and all that shit. Hopefully not the ones that get robbed, but backing up everything to every residence that he has. You know what I mean? To get that either definitely one or two final matches. Obviously, we're not going to get one more appearance. It's going to be at least one more match and maybe a handful of appearances going into it. But I mean, if you think about it, what else is there really else? What else is there really for Lesnar to do? He has put over Cody multiple times. We've seen him with Seth. We've seen him with Oba now, Randy, Roman, God knows how many times. Triple H obviously is not wrestling anymore, but been there. Like everyone, I'm trying to think. I mean, do you really want to see him and CM Punk? Like, no. I mean, we've gotten that back in the day, didn't we? Pretty certain we did. It feels familiar, but I mean, do you really want to see that? Come on, that would just be such a clash. I mean, I guess they could. We know the story with Heyman and everything, but this just is not the time, the era for that. Because I mean, like, who else? The only one left really is Gunther. When you think about it, I'm like really sitting here thinking, like going through the roster in my head really quick, like that. It makes sense that he probably. That's another reason why I believe it was like it was a real thing, because when you think about it, he's gone through everybody, and not gone through in that sense, but he's matched up with everyone. And I don't think, now some people have said, because I only listened to one review show after Mania so far, because I kind of wanted to still keep it fresh. I do think we are going to, or I'm sorry, some people have kind of said, like, oh, you don't need Brock to come back for one more. He just have him go out against Femi. Like, it's gonna really defeat the purpose, having him lose to Femi and really water down what he did, leaving the boots in the ring and stuff like that. And then how do you really bring it back for one last match? And especially if he's gonna lose, because you can't bring him back and then have him beat Gunther, right? Like, that would be ridiculous. So I don't think it's an issue though. To me, it's like the whole, like, oh, well, you can't have Cena lose his last match. You can. I mean, you should have done it differently, like, but you can, and like that's what makes the story. Like, that's the whole point. And then especially with Gunther, dude, like, he's the career killer. Like, it would be the ultimate finale. So the story is very easy for Brock. He comes back, like, Heyman. What date is SummerSlam? Let me pull it up really quick. Oh, the first and second. Okay, cool. So, excuse me, you have Heyman at least a month, like maybe the end of June, mid June, going into July. Um, have Gunther stalking Heyman, approaching him because Heyman has still been around, right? With the Vision, he's still doing other shit, so it's not a stretch to get him on TV. You have Gunther stalking Heyman. You have him showing up backstage, like wherever Heyman's doing like a backstage segment, or whenever he's finished in the ring. You have Gunther come out and just make an appearance, and we just keep getting reminded of the favor, and Heyman is avoiding him. He's kind of like running scared, trying to avoid Gunther because he knows he owes him. But now the Beast is gone. He's retired. They haven't officially said he's retired, but the Beast is gone. We'll just say, because I don't think they're gonna actually, unless they do like officially label it retired to add to the story. But I don't think they're gonna actually say that because you want to, once you can officially make that like stipulation, I think that's when you want to like really throw out that word. So you can just have Lesnar or Heyman saying, Lesnar's gone. He won't answer my calls. Like, I know I owed you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, just like in fear, right? Gunther can throw him against the wall. Heyman's great at that shit. So no issue there. Build and build and build. They'll probably have the go home shows that week prior in Minneapolis, but you obviously need it before. So you build to have Gunther saying, all right, if he's not here next week, like whatever, who's gonna do X, Y, and Z? Or you need to deliver someone, you know what I mean? And then Brock comes back, sets up the match. But the only thing is, like, how are you gonna get Brock to make it a retirement match? That's the only thing I'm kind of like how do you do that? Because you can, have, I don't know, you can have Gunther tormenting Heyman, but Brock can want to come back. I mean, I guess you can just come back and be like, look, I mean, because he probably is not even going to say anything. You can just have the perception that he's coming back, like his music hits, like Gunther's about to do, like, put Heyman through whatever, or he's about to do some crazy shit to Heyman. Lesnar's music hits, he comes back, he saves Heyman, and he just kind of acknowledges Gunther, that kind of sets the stage for SummerSlam. Then the week after that, maybe Heyman or maybe even Brock can be like, because maybe they'll do the contract signing, then after that, then leading into that, maybe Gunther or him or Lesnar could be like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of stretch, and I guess this is the conundrum that people were talking about. But I don't know. It feels easy. I'm just not. There's one bridge I'm not connecting, and maybe you guys know, and you guys can point it out. But it's very easy to get Lesnar back. Just come back and save Heyman. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is how they get Lesnar like to put his career on the line, because Gunther, unless Gunther like challenges Lesnar to do it, I guess that would obviously make sense. But then what would Lesnar have to gain out of it? Because like, why? I don't know. Like, why would you just put your career on the line for nothing? So I don't know. That's not my problem to figure out. They don't pay me to do that, but I feel like it'll be easy. My issue and my concern isn't getting Lesnar back on TV and getting him into that one last match with Gunther. It's how you get the career on the line. Unless it's just as simple as Gunther calling him out and just demanding from Heyman. So we'll see. And go through your chats really quick. Yeah, man. Alex Perry said there's a vast middle ground not often explored by both companies. A good story that leads to a great match, and it's just so fucking simple, dude. Like that's what's frustrating. It's like, why is it that hard to like just do? Oh yeah, and Fernando, I agree though. So I agree. You say Cody winning was the right decision. Stop crying, everyone. I agree. Cody winning was the right decision, but the story that they told going into it didn't lead to Cody winning being the right decision. Like if they would have played, or if the story going into it would have been them playing off their history, Cody going into this to the match trying to prove a point that he could beat his mentor and all that shit and beat the Viper, all the Pat McAfee stuff out of it, 100%. But now you go through and do all that trash and then it ends like that. Like I don't know. That's where I was like, yeah, like Cody winning at that point, like I don't know. It made sense, but it was just like, man, like it did and it didn't almost because like it made sense before all the clusterfuck happened, and then even after that, I was like, okay, like it's almost like what's the best out of like both not great options, and not that Cody being the champion isn't a great option. It's just like you've just muddied the water so much with it now. I was like, damn, like you just done too much, man. Just leave the dude alone. Dude, yeah, and Sai, you said the sponsorship was everywhere. I particularly like the unsanctioned match sponsored by Papa John's. We're in the era of Slim Jim table, folks. My favorite part of the unsanctioned match was that it was on the free portion of the ESPN airing, because what says we are not backing and supporting a match more than putting it on the free portion of our broadcast? That makes sense. Yes, he said, "Can I just say that watching yes Santa for you?" I mean, that's dedication, right? Gotta do what we gotta do. Oh yeah, Paris. So you said, "Hey Ash, wanted to ask you guys about the Lucha Underground tease on X. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? The complete library, or did Tony Khan bought or buy LU, or was it WWE? I have no idea, dude. But thank you so much for bringing that up because I meant to tag that or bookmark it for myself because I did not see any of the original Lucha Underground, and I am fascinated by it, and I would love to watch it. So whatever it is, I am game. But thanks for bringing that back up and reminding me. Waliko, yo, dude, what up? What up? Thanks for popping in, man. Thank you, thank you. You said you don't know how they. Ooh, you said you don't know how they book Oba from here, dude. He's a fucking star, man. Especially with him opening up Raw right after Mania, like that's how you know. And of course, like people have mentioned it now, but it was very reminiscent of the Roman, very, but the exact opposite, right? Of Roman coming out the night after beating Undertaker at WrestleMania on the Raw after Mania and just fucking getting booed for like 7 minutes straight. But on the flip side, Oba came out and it was just cheers, man, and he was a star. And I just love the suit, man. I don't want to see him in a suit every week, but it fit the setting and it fit the follow up. So he's money, dude. He's fucking money. But yeah, like an immediate opponent, I get that. But I think on the so if I had to lay out the SummerSlam main events, I would imagine right now it's probably going to be Cody versus Randy in a rematch. Because I just, man, I don't, not that I'm fighting for that, but I just had this feeling we're going to go right back to it. And then, or not right back to it, but I have a feeling we're going to get back to it in like a month or so. Right around the time when you kind of need to start the build for it, probably 2 months, I guess. Because I think Cody's going to be out for at least probably a month to heal. And then he may tie it up with someone immediately after that, and then after that it'll probably be closer to the build for SummerSlam. Maybe we can get an actual legit build that fits their story, and then go from there. And then on the I guess Raw side, but it does kind of leave Punk open as well. I just I feel like if they're gonna do Punk and Cody, that would be at Mania, and I just fucking hope that shit isn't at Saudi next year because I would just be livid, dude. I would be livid. So I'm gonna hold my anger until then. But cause I so that's my second option. If they don't go back to Cody and Randy at SummerSlam, I think they're gonna do Cody and Punk at SummerSlam because you know it's the second biggest of the year. And I could see them wanting to do that. You know, now that I think about it, it would make more and more sense at SummerSlam. Again, second biggest show. I'm hoping they wouldn't want to hold it until Mania of next year, and they probably have bigger plans. No offense, Punk, but just different plans for both guys. I mean, if to be fair, for Mania next year, what a cluster that's going to be. But unless they end up moving it, which TBD, I don't think they're going to move it because they just fucking announced a show in Saudi, I think in a few months or some shit. So wild. But so if they don't do Cody and Randy at SummerSlam, I could very well see Cody and Punk at SummerSlam. So that could be the SmackDown side of it, and then on Raw, they could end up doing Roman and Oba. I could see that. Can you imagine Oba goes into SummerSlam and beats Roman Reigns for the title? That would be fucking wild. Like, that would be wild. Ugh. All right. What the fuck, dude? Where have you been, bro? Where the fuck have you been? And it's actually kind of early for you, dude. You know it's only 11:41 a.m. Are you okay, dude? Did your stuff wear off early? I know, dude. Happy you're in here. I love talking shit. Yeah, Waliko. All right, I'm gonna start that because we gotta get to the releases here. You're fucking hilarious, dude. You said, "How's your dog doing? Better got them nice, nice ass pain pills. The good shit." Yeah, dude. She's doing better, dude. Thank you. She has to get surgery. So we have her consultation next Thursday at 4 p.m. With her ortho surgeon. We'll meet them and schedule the surgery, which will be probably the immediate week after that. They said they could do it like as early, like they were actually saying they could do it same day, which I was like, no, like no. I'm gonna do the consult and then like, not too long, obviously after that to get it done and over with, bro. Y'all want to know how much that shit's gonna be? So her primary vet, like she's a human, right? Primary care. That shit's gonna that can't even say it. Could be anywhere from like 6 to 10K. What? Yeah. So there's that. But she's worth it. She's my baby. But yeah, dude, not even one. It was a half a pain pill. And this chick, not even 24 hours later, was feeling happy. She was wiggling her little butt again and almost like nothing is wrong. She still can't obviously, she's still not 100% there, but she's starting to feel happy again, which is not a good sign because as sad and bad as that is to say, because she's starting to jump again and wanting to jump again, which it was nice when that feeling and that want was not there. But yeah, PT and the recovery is not going to be great. So we'll see. But thanks, bro. I appreciate you. All right, but yeah, so we are going to get to the roster cuts now. Because it's just fucking wild, bro. And again, like we have said before, and what goes with any. Here we go. Yeah, 15. Okay. I wanted to make sure that was the full list, as sad as that is to say. But the roster cuts. With any company, right? And as shitty as it is, we're all disposable, right? If I die today, my company will replace me not even 2 weeks. You know what I mean? They'll just reassign my shit and it is what it is. Yeah, a couple people will be sad, but it is what it is. company, you know, business wise. So there's that. That is why the wrestling business, dude, is always just been, it's been one of, I'm not gonna get into it, but like it's always one that's always been enticing, right? But there's just no job security, and it's just so scary. So I always feel, I didn't say scary. I always feel for the talents, especially when they sign like a 3 or 5 year deal, and you're like, oh, dude, like I'm set for 3 5 years. Like, you know, in the back of the head, you know, you can be cut at any time. But if you're like an Aleister Black and a Zelina Vega, when you, especially on the Aleister side, when they bring you back and you've been back for about a year now, and you finally are aligned with your wife, Zelina, and well, about how long was it? 6 months ago? 5 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, when they partnered up on screen. And you're like, okay, doing some things, not the main focus, but decent TV time, had a story going. There was even thought that he was the one that Randy was talking to on the phone, possibly tying it back into that going forward after the Pat McAfee thing. And yeah, just thoughts, right? But there was going to be, he was at least on TV. Again, not a main focal point, even not weekly, but it's not like we were sitting here like, yo, where's Aleister where has Aleister been? Um, Maybe not as prominent as we wanted, but not a complete ghost, or not like before when he was fucking sitting in the closet. Especially with the pairing of Zelina, man. Like you're like, okay, like, oh, and sad to say, but like when they got rid of Karrion Kross and Scarlett, like, you know, like, okay, like this is gonna be like their realm. But it just started to die down, and then once Pat McAfee got, I never thought that he was gonna be the one on the phone, right? But once it got revealed, because there were some people who had taken like screenshots, and there was like supposedly Aleister in the far back. I don't know. Maybe an Easter egg and maybe a callback that if they needed to, but obviously they weren't having serious plans on that. But I just, the fact, like his entrance, dude. I have a video. I'm gonna post it later on the feed too. From Brooklyn, man. Just the entrance. It's just fucking dope music, and the rising, the creaking. I'm not gonna say WrestleMania main event, but they just missed out, dude. They missed out on probably upper card, right? That guy that can like flirt with like the main event scene, maybe eventually win a world heavyweight championship if you really push him, and get serious with him. But I don't know, man. I think what kind of hurt him too was maybe they kind of viewed him in the Bray Wyatt like supernatural like ish dark ish realm. I think like in their white conservative minds that if you wear black and you are on or have like any type of black makeup or anything like that, oh, it's like all like devil, like all like it's all the same thing, like demons, like what Bray was doing, like it's all the same thing, right? And if you're not into that, you don't take it seriously, and you're just never gonna really make it a focal point. And I think that's potentially what hurt him with some of the upper brass, right? And just really surprised that Triple H didn't, and maybe he did, maybe he went to bat, and maybe he couldn't stop the cuts, because I don't know, people are blaming Triple H, but who really is the final straw at this point, right? Like I don't know. And if it was him, then shame on him. But I just can't sit here and believe that that's the same dude who built this character, right? Built the entrance, built everything that was and is Aleister Black in NXT, brought him back, and didn't really do much with him, and then just fucking let him go. Like, I don't know, man. Something just doesn't feel right about that. So that is one that I hope we get. And same thing for Zelina, right? And like you had said, we would go like she was really upset. And Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful was the first to, I'm pretty certain was the the first to make all the reportings on the cuts. So I don't know, man. It's to me, it's kind of a weird subject when it comes to wrestling, right? And the reporting on it, because on one hand, it's like, well, when NBA stars get cut, when they get drafted, or I'm sorry, when they get traded, when some bad shit happens, when they get arrested, that what's that dude's name? Shams, whatever. Like he is the first, like when like in like the Kobe Bryant shit, like when he died, like they are the first to like we'll just keep it not as dark. Like when someone gets cut, right, or fired or whatever, like the Antonio Brown shit. Like when they get fired, like there's always that first reporter out there to break the news, right? I'm sure those people who got fired, or even if it was like a mutual party, like they probably wouldn't want that news put out there, right? But it's the reporter's job to make the news. So I can understand it on that side, but wrestling is a weird world too. So I don't know, but because it's like, because then they'll be like, oh, well, I'm just doing my job. And it's like, yeah, but like, I don't know, because wrestling is just so weird because like people are like, oh, it's not a real sport. To me, I guess to me, it's kind of considered a sport, right? So then it's like, okay, well, if it is, then and everything that's on TV, you know, needs to be documented or reported on or whatever. So it's just like a weird gray area as much as that term gets overused. So we definitely do need reporting and documentation and shit like that, and just like a resource hub, right? So that's how I guess wrestling websites got started, and then the reporting and journalism and all that stuff. But you can't just not report on something, especially when it's satellite talent's getting cut. Because on the flip side, it's the same thing when people get hired. Like people don't get outraged. Well, I guess they do when like the spoiler gets out. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I kind of get it on both sides. What I do feel for though is when you are a Zelina Vega and you get the news. I think she said it what like 5:09 p.m. and you are trying to take time to process it, and then it's posted on social media, and then everyone's tagging you, reaching out to you, and all this stuff. I think Sean had said that he waited like 2 hours or something, or a little over 2 hours to officially like make the statement and make the word. So it's not like he got it and then like, like as he was getting the news, he was like da 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 da. You know what I mean? So it sounds like he did do his due diligence and confirmed and all that stuff. So in a way, dude, like I can't fault him. He is doing his job, and if he wasn't going to report it, someone else was going to, and his site wouldn't get as many views and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, he does have a business to run, and it's shitty, but I don't want to say it is what it is, but that's just kind of the real world. You know what I mean? And when you are a star, whether it's wrestling, NBA, football, WNBA, whatever, when major shit happens in your life, contract status, whatever, it's gonna get reported on, and it sucks. But on the flip side, I feel for her, because if it was me, I would probably want to crawl into a hole and not speak or hear from anyone, and I would not want anyone to know I just got fired, because it's embarrassing too. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been on TV. So I feel for her. So I definitely would probably, if I was her, definitely. And I guess I don't know. Like I don't know which side I lean on more so, because if I was Sean, I would get his side more. If I was Lena, I would get her side more. So I'm kind of, as much as I hate being in the middle, like I kind of get both sides on this one. But it's shitty, dude. It's shitty. But then too, like if you're Sean and you wait, it's like, well, what's the appropriate amount of time to wait too? You know what I mean? Do you wait for them to make a statement? And I don't know. So it's just like a weird thing. That's why I don't do that shit. So props to them, because I don't know. I don't know. To be fair, like I don't know like what's proper, and like I've never been on that side, like writing articles and reporting news and shit. So I don't know what is like ethical and shit, I guess. So yeah. But yeah. As far as the Wyatt Six, fucking wild. They literally just had a haunted house at Universal Studios. Major success. I think they were going to try to do some type of tie-in next year or something. Obviously not going to happen now unless they just do the Bray Wyatt side, but that was what the playoff was this year. So again, not saying the Wyatt Six were cooking on all cylinders. It is a very kind of like with Alistair, like I once their mindset is you're kind of in that realm, like you have a limited shelf life, which is sad to say because I don't think that's true. In their mind, it is, but I don't think it's true, in my opinion, because you need to have multiple different colors of paint to paint a picture. You know what I mean? Like the same colors get boring. You can only do so much. So the fact that they released them all too is just pretty shitty. um, it's just I don't know. Like it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, like I was tired of seeing the same shit with them and the MFTs, but it's like, damn, dude, like you didn't even give them an opportunity to do anything else. Like I don't know, or to be more realistic. So I don't know. We'll see. Motor City Machine Guns though just shows you they don't give a shit about the tag team division. So there's that, and the whole like bickering between Shelly and Sabin was just for nothing. But I just think it's a matter of time. Like how many days? Like 89 days now until they're in AEW. But yeah, another one I was surprised though too was Santos Escobar. Not that again, not that he was a big focal point, but he wanted his release and then they fought to bring it back, and then now I think he just recently got injured and now he's cut. Same thing with Zoe Vega. Zoe Stark. She I think was just about to come back soon, and all of a sudden she's been out for like 9 months and then just cut. And that's the thing where it's like, yo, like like I said, I know it's a business, it's a corporation, budget cuts. You can't tell me someone like fucking Zoe Stark was like really eating at your overhand. Like really? Like, come on, bro. I don't know. It's just when she's hurt too, like I I get they probably took care of everything and paid, but I don't know. It's just really shitty. But at least she is close to being better if she isn't already, or close to being cleared. So once this 90-day period is done, she'll at least be ready to go. And she'll be fine and probably fucking kill it, actually, on the indies. It sucks that Bloodsport is shut down, though. It'd be cool to see her in that. But I could see her in TNA, too. Yeah, I was thinking earlier, though, I would love to see Aleister Black and Zelina Vega in TNA. I just think they would go in, immediately be stars, and I just think a program with Black and Santana would just be spot on. But the last, before I gotta run because then I have a call at 12. And thank you guys, I appreciate you all. But Kairi Sane, dude, we've been going through how many months now with her and Asuka and Io, right? And Rhea, but mainly like the three who Kairi was gonna settle with and really she was gonna, and it was evident that she was gonna be, seeing the good side, but she was still kind of torn with her, loyalty to Asuka. Asuka was just a piece of shit to her, just being just mean and all this stuff. And now she's just gone. And it's like, okay, like why? Like why Kairi Sane? Like you look at the roster and you're like, yeah, Kairi's one, gotta go. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, you should have fired this person over this person, but it's like, really? Like Kairi was like, yeah, done with her. If that was the case, and even especially if you knew this like a week or two prior, you could have had a payoff at Mania. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, so I will be wrapping up there, guys. I appreciate all you. Atmosphere. Yeah, I gotta jump. I'm sorry for the brief or I'm sorry, the abrupt cut. I gotta jump on a call here with El Doctor. But appreciate all of you guys again for popping in and talking some shit with me. The super chat. Thank you, Alisphere. I appreciate you, man, so much. And until next time, my friends, take care and enjoy some wrestling. Peace out.